So this company is called Heap. Apparently they have this little thing popping up here. A smarter approach to product. It looks like they, have some product analytics. My question now is it apps or desktop SaaS analytics platform that helps product understand craft digital experiences? So it looks like this is for SaaS companies, not apps. Okay, so let's just get a lay of the land, measure everything, improve the journey. Okay, maybe there's some product-led stuff in here. You can kind of look at their customers and start to see Twilio. Okay, maybe it doesn't have to be product-led. Okay. Auto capture APIs. The first thing that I'm going to do in anything is understand what they do, right? And especially with some of these more technical products. Okay. So we all have like a super general sense about what they're doing. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what their CTA path is. And so here it is. My initial thoughts is that all this stuff needs to be moved up. The main reason is this button needs to be above the fold. Like the fact that it's that close and not above the fold is just weird. So everything should just get moved up, whatever it is, 50 pixels. So the button's down there, and the social proof needs to be above the fold. So like, I don't know why I need to scroll to see these nice logos, which is going to convince me to convert. Request a one-to-one demo. I would be a lot more, you can A/B test the copy, but I'm usually a lot more clear on what they're going to get out of it, not that it's just a demo. And so the reason that I'm looking at that is because that's where people, when I start doing the ads, that's where people are going to go. That's the place where I want them to go, because I know the conversion rates are so much better here than if I convert them on a mobile device lead gen ad. And so I actually want them to come back and do this. And so now we have a clear path on what we need to fix on this page. Okay. Knowing that this is a Series C SaaS company from San Francisco, I know that a majority of their budget is being spent on LinkedIn ads and probably Google ads. Commonly, I see these type of companies essentially break it up 50-50. Maybe it can sway, but like it's pretty 50-50. I'm not exactly sure how they get to those numbers. But I think they just take the budget and like, okay, we'll just put half and half, which there's probably a better way to figure out how to allocate the budget across channels, but that is beside the point here. Okay, so they just raised Series C, 55 million. Okay, so now I'm going to go down here and you can look at post. They kind of change. Ads used to be over here, but now post ads. And now we're going to see what they're doing. Okay, I feel like we've seen this story before on this episode of Demand Gen Live, where you get on here and there's ebook download as the first ad, but that's what it is. So video to ebook download, the Heap guide to activation. So we click on it. Okay, it's just asking for email and some other stuff in there. And so they're running ebook downloads because they need MQLs. But there's probably more. Okay, this is the one that I got retargeted with. And so if you so once you go to the website and then you use every social platform, you'll see where the retargeting happens, because the platforms know that you were just on the site and they're trying to give you the ad as quickly as possible because it increases the chances of their metrics looking good, so people keep spending money. And so I got retargeted with this one. And so it's a video, and I got retargeted on LinkedIn. And so now I click learn more and I go, okay, ungated case study. Love that it's ungated. Not a huge fan of the layout because most of the retargeting is going to happen on mobile. And my guess is this type of layout doesn't have a great mobile experience, but I don't know that for sure. Video at the top. That's a big assumption that people are going to watch this video on mobile when it was an ad. So I would start to look at what the video analytics are and decide whether or not this is a good use of real estate for this ad. My experience tells me that it's not. And then generally, going back to the ad, unless you have a huge budget, it is unnecessary to retarget on LinkedIn. Unless you have completely spread out every other type of channel where you can go, because you can get to all the same people on Facebook and Instagram for 1/10 of the cost on a retargeting flow. So all of the retargeting flows for me happen through that network, not on LinkedIn. I do all my cold targeting on LinkedIn. And yes, there will be a point where our budget is so big that we have extra money and we can do retargeting on LinkedIn, but it would be far down the road. Maybe they do have a big enough budget to support this, but I was in Facebook and Instagram and wasn't retargeted there. And so that's a really interesting insight, because they could be getting that done. What I would do is I would go and do retargeting last 90 days of website visitors on Facebook and Instagram, and I would turn on audience expansion. And I would, if the pixel has fired enough to, the Facebook pixel that is, has fired enough to know what people are going to your site, and you can put custom conversions in to know which people actually fill out the demo form and then feed that back into Facebook, and then create something like a lookalike audience with other filters on it or something like that. And the algorithm can go out and find whoever else is going to be needing to, whoever would buy your product, and show them the ads. And so that's my primary flow of retargeting, not on LinkedIn. Let's keep going. So another ebook, one form fill. They're probably paying somewhere between, I don't know who their audience is, but it's somewhere between $30 and $300 to have someone download that book and probably not actually even read it. There's another book. Okay. So majority of their cold targeting, because I wasn't retargeted with any ebook, so it's a very common strategy. In order to go and get people, what you're going to do is you're going to run cold targeted ads, typically broad targeted, to download an ebook so you can have their email address and you can put them in a nurture stream. We've talked about that enough, but that's the strategy that's happening here as you reverse engineer it. They also have some webinars lined up here. If you have to decide between an ebook and a webinar, if you're going to do one of the two because you need to hit an MQL number, I'm all in on the webinar, because you get the content afterwards. There's so many other benefits in the book. So I would lean in more to that. Yes, it's a little bit more heavy lifting. Yes, it's a little less scalable, but I prefer it. And then everything else. Okay, now there's a demo one. Okay, get ready for the new standard in analytics. Okay. So then they're just sending you straight to a demo. The next thing that I would do here, just for everyone that knows, is each of these ads, if I'm sure that they're using Marketo just based on the type of the company that they are. And so you could go into, and if Marketo's set up correctly, you can go in and have UTMs for the exact ad and audience that each of these people came from and the conversion point. And then I'm going to look at what's happening to all these people afterwards. I'm making assumptions on what they're doing from here. There could be a sales cadence. There could be an email nurture. There could be something else that they're doing with these people. And so I would go and look at what's happening with them afterwards. And I would track that from the past 12 months or however long they've been doing it. And I would look at what tangible ROI there is here. The benefit of doing all direct response is that you can measure the ROI. And so people love to do direct response, but they hate to actually measure the ROI of it, because it's usually not that great in situations like this. The second kind of piece on this is a lot of marketers never look further down funnel. They literally just look at the MQL, and they have to have 5,000 MQLs a month, and they had the ebook downloads, and they don't actually look at how many people converted to SQOs, how many people converted to revenue, how much it costs to acquire that customer, all those different things. Okay, so that's the teardown on LinkedIn in general. Like, the page is okay, 7,000 followers. Let's look at organic while we're here. Okay, link in the post, product announcement, 10 likes on 7,000 followers. Share that they were featured in, 4 likes. Webinar reminder, 7 likes. And then what's the space? So 3 weeks, 4 days, 1 day, 8 hours. So their frequency of posting looks like it's sporadic, but not a lot of engagement. And so if you start to look at why aren't they getting a lot of engagement, I would look at, do they have the right followers? Like, go and look I don't know for sure, but I'm sure that there are insights or analytics in the back where you can start to see the demographics of who you follow. If not, somebody should create a SaaS platform for that. The demographics of who's following the page. Are they the right people? Is the content good? Do you have links in it? Are you using best practices? Are you just trying, like, the promotional strategies? It's not something that I enjoy out of company pages. I think, come register for this webinar, come look at our new um, product. Come, we just raised 55 million, blah, 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 blah. So that was a little bit of organic. I don't know if this is going to work here, but we're on now on their Facebook. I do not know. I think Facebook might have taken away the view of ads. So it looks like we can't see the ads on Facebook. The alternative that could be possible is that they're not running any. So that's also possible, but we won't know for sure. And now let's look. So based on this website, and I'm not a buyer of this, so I don't really know, but like I'm trying to figure out what actually here would be, I would be like, what keywords would I be searching for to search this? But instead I'm just going to go to SEMrush and I'm going to search the domain. I'm going to look what's going on. They have a pretty good domain authority, a lot of backlinks. Okay, so they are paying for traffic here. What's the trend? Okay, so the paid traffic started to get a spike in June. It looks like they slowed down advertising during the part of during the beginning of quarantine, which makes sense. A lot of people did that. What I'm trying to figure out is what keywords are they buying? Top paid keywords. Okay. We can go through and see what's up here. If we can get it to load. Okay. So this is, okay. So they're spending a lot. I don't trust that number, but that's what the number says. And okay, so it's all branded. This looks like a competitor. Let's see where they're sending the competitor search traffic to. Okay. That is a really strange, really long, unnecessary long form. Okay, heap meaning, heap definition, like these are getting triggered for their searches. Negative keywords would iron those out and save them a little bit of money. Heap NY, I think that's a town. Heap Ohio. So there's a lot of like miscellaneous stuff in here. And then Heap Analytics. So let's get out of, I want to get out of the branded search and I want to find something. So we have branded search, we have competitor, we've seen amplitude, we've seen mixed panel. Give me something else. What is product management? What data is Google Analytics? Goals unable to track. Sounds irrelevant. How to become a data scientist. And so this is like, this is really interesting. Like this is a company and the SEMrush estimates they're spending 100K. I don't know what the answer is. And so far we've been pretty far down the list. We could actually search by search volume. We've been pretty far down the list and all I've seen is irrelevant, branded, and competitor. Let's let this load again. Yep. Give me one non-branded intent search term. This is what happens when you don't plan these things out, is sometimes it takes a little while to find it. So amplitude versus mixed panel, there's some competitive search, but I don't know why there is not a single search. So, okay, I'm not going to spend any more time on this. So what I'm going to do, if I was in Google when I was looking for this, I think the right search term would be product analytics software. And then from there, I would go and I could figure out what other ones. So you can see the other product usage analytics is what the one I'm going to search next, but we'll let going through. Okay. So their number one competitors bidding on this term. This seems like the highest buying intent term there is. Seems like a good one to buy. So mixed panel right there. Apti, we didn't see them in the competitor. Tableau feels irrelevant. Looker, I don't know whether or not that fits. So But I mean, they either did the research and said this is not an ROI positive keyword and they stopped doing it, or they just do not buy non-branded high intent terms. And then I would go to product usage analytics, Mixpanel, Sisense, Pendo, like all their competitors are winning on these terms. How many search terms does product usage analytics software? Pendo, Apti, Mixpanel, Sisense. Okay. Product usage analytics software. Go back to SEMrush. Get in here. Product usage analytics software. Show me a keyword. Not a lot of volume. Give me product. What do we search? Product analytics software. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know if this one's going to trigger anything either. Okay, so there's 40 here. Keyword difficulty is pretty high. I would definitely pay $14.59 for that keyword, and I would win. So product usage analytics, like their competitor Pendo is not even using the entire headline that they're able to use. So I would kill all of the irrelevant. So if we go back to the SEMrush stuff, Printify, Shopify integration, like maybe there's things that I don't know about this of why they should be bidding on those things, but that feels like completely irrelevant. And so I would go through, I would use all these, you could do it. I would prefer to do it inside of the ad platform, not here, but I would go in and I would either kill irrelevant, whatever queries or whatever match types are driving these irrelevant queries. I would kill them completely, or I would have a bunch of negative keywords to iron these all out. And then I would go out and find all the keywords that people are actually searching for when they want to buy something, and I would win there. I want to find one other one because I want to see they must be. Is it just demo? Like, okay, let's see what Shopify is doing. So this search term, oh, come on. Sorry, the zoom's in the way. I can't click on this tab. So this search term is integrate Wix and Shopify. And they're bringing them to Shopify Heap integration to download an ebook. And so my position is very clear. I mean, unless you are paying like $5 CPA, and even then I have trouble justifying it to drive people for that type of search term to an ebook download. They're just like, they're not looking for what you do. So I think there's a lot of opportunity in AdWords. And then secondarily, so it says that they're spending 100K. Normally companies that I interact with that are spending 100K should actually be spending about 20. And then when you free up that 80K, it doesn't look like they're advertising on Facebook, or maybe they've changed that part of the platform and I can't see it anymore. But I would move almost all of that $80,000 a month directly into Facebook and Instagram. And then I would figure out what's going on. I would figure out deeper what's going on LinkedIn. I would change the conversion points to remove the ebook, or if they must sustain some MQL metric, I would try and drive the cost per lead down as much as possible to create more space in order to do something different. And then I would be way more focused on one, educate and inform, and two, tell people what your product does. Like if you're going to spend $80 CPM on LinkedIn, you should at least be able to tell them what the product does.